We're producing over 100 different crops, vegetables to fruit to animal production, grains, nuts. So it's very diverse. The farm land is broken up into small units. No field is bigger than 10 to 12 acres, and those are all surrounded by hedgerows that we've planted or riparian areas on some border or another. Part of our diversity does include habitat for all these amazing birds. We do have permanent pastures that we've planted with various legumes. We also do have cover crops that we use for pasture for our grazing animals.
Our research is trying to understand the big picture of the roles that birds play on farms. We're specifically interested in farm diversification through livestock integration, and we found that livestock integration on the farm does not increase the prevalence of pathogen or the number of birds that carry the pathogen. We also found, which is perhaps really encouraging, that farms that are surrounded by a lot of natural habitat like forests have less pathogen being delivered in their field. It appears that birds are the lowest risk to food safety when farms are in really natural landscapes. Some example species would be things like Pacific slope flycatcher, orange-crowned warbler, Wilson's warblers. And birds are likely the biggest risk to food safety when farmers are surrounded by high-intensity livestock production. Species that are associated with livestock, such as European starlings, house sparrows, which are both invasive, as well as some native species like the brown-headed cowbird and the American crow, have really high prevalences of the pathogen, much higher than species that are not foraging among livestock.
Birds coming into an area that has potential pathogens, like in a feedlot, is never really a situation here at Full Belly Farm. The sheep in particular are constantly being moved, so there's never accumulation of manure, ever. They're always spreading it very neatly around the farm for us.
What farmers can do in different contexts to make birds the most beneficial and the least harmful. Add pasture or grassland, and that can attract beneficial raptors.
We do find that we have an enormous amount of raptors, hawks and owls and golden eagles even come in occasionally.
You can also install barn owl boxes to help control rodents.
We have a family of 4 baby owls that was just raised up in the top of one of our buildings, and because that was 6 owls all hunting at night, we have 0 gophers, probably within a quarter mile of that.
You can install nest boxes for insectivorous birds like western bluebirds that can help control caterpillars, but make sure to check them and make sure that non-native species aren't nesting in them. One way that you can reduce food safety risks associated with wild birds is keeping perches away from crops and not have wires overhanging the crops, particularly food that's going to be eaten raw, such as strawberries and broccoli. What we're interested in is trying to understand how we can preserve these birds on the farms while providing benefits to farmers and reducing those harms.
There's nothing negative that I can come up with about providing habitat for the birds. I think the reciprocity that farmers need to give back to the wildlife, birds, beneficial insects is so vital right now. Don't hesitate. We can't wait any longer to do this work of providing habitat, because some of these hedgerows and trees take 5 years to really become mature, and now's the time